Yeah. I like when birds come in. Sounds like I see seats in there. Hey, I'm on your turf again. This, that. Yeah. You from the back of the. I got a girl, Brad. Yeah. She go to battle. LED logo the tag. I go in back of the. They all from it. My diamonds, they all look at. This, that. I go to bed on bed. I got the beam in the flats. I got the in the back. Haters, they talk the chat. They step on the rock, the man. I'm a K-back. 400K. I found out where you lay at. I got the lurking and they hate cats. Pockets stay fat. I got the from the block and they screaming, they know what banks at. I got the work on the avenue, they know what tanks at. I got the.
Now we're cooking. Well, it's the coach. This is the 2018 season, and you've got it tuned to EA Sports. Coming up, running back Dalvin Cook. He's back and coming off a big game a weekend ago. Coming up, we'll see the visiting Minnesota Vikings taking on the Detroit Lions. I'll have scores around the league for you at the half, but it's time for a little football. So we'll hand it over to our broadcast team, Brandon Godden and Charles Davis.
First opened in 2002, there's a look inside Ford Field here in downtown Detroit, the Motor City. A few short moments ago, these two teams made their way out of the Ford Field tunnels, and the noise level in this place just about off the charts. They are set for football as the Lions get ready to do battle with the Minnesota Vikings. Along with Charles Davis, I'm Brandon Gaudin. And Charles, we look at this Lions team entering play. Now, losers their last time out, so they'll look to make amends here.
And one of the best ways you can do that is to be at home, and they are. They're going to try and ride that home crowd and that wave of emotion to a victory in this one.
Meanwhile, for our visitors, the Vikings, they've been as hot as anyone. The win last week makes it 9 out of 10.
The results are hard to argue. If there's a team better suited for the postseason right now, I don't know who they are.
This is the newest member of the Lion backfield, LeGarrette Blount. And the reinforcements come in as they're going to stop him behind the line. It's a loss of a yard there, and now second down.
Early down stuff's to put this offense in a precarious position. We know that securing the point of attack, especially against the big-bodied guys in the middle of this D, has got to be priority one.
Now the Notre Dame man, this is Theo Riddick. And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. 5 yards on the carry there, and it leaves him with third and about 6 yards to go. And now the offense for Detroit.
Throw on your shades, throw on your sunglasses. We're about to shine a little spotlight on Golden Tate, who comes off of 4 straight seasons with 90 or more catches. He's a guy that maybe doesn't get put in the category of elite receiver, but when you look at his production overall and how he's used in their offense, wide receiver, slot back, take some plays at running back, he's a threat every time the ball's in his hands, especially after the catch.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to drop him, and his great season continues. 13 sacks for him now on the year.
2 sacks last week, another one right here. He's been unblockable lately, and I think that goes all the way back to not just his offseason, but the film study he's been doing during the week, because I think he's found matchups that he likes, and he's capitalizing.
And a few times he's even defeated double teams. He doesn't care at this point. Fielded just inside the 20. And now running right through it. A nice job on the return there, 16 yards. And the Vikings will take over here, 1st and 10. So here's the Viking offense making their way out. Orchestrating the offense, the former 3-time captain at Michigan State, quarterback Kirk Cousins.
I like this guy, and the reason I do, he tends to stay on an even keel. Doesn't let too much ruffle him. He will manage the game the way it needs to be managed, take what the defense gives him, and then he can strike at times. Had a touchdown pass. Yes, he had an interception last week, but he found a way for his team to win.
Good starting field position for him as they come up 1st and 10. And it's a welcome back to health for last year's #1 pick. This is Dalvin Cook, and he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 13. From the shotgun, it's Cousins. Buying time to his left. Oh, the ball comes out on the hit, but they'll say it's incomplete. And the offensive starters for the Vikings.
Stephon Diggs had 8 touchdowns in the regular season. And then when it came to the postseason, a huge one in the playoffs. They'll be remembered forever, especially in Minnesota. Also helped to actually overshadow what a really nice year he had. Can catch the ball underneath and also take the top off of the defense with his speed.
And he'll be taken down, but not before he gets into enemy territory. They convert on third with a gain of 22. He's such a good route runner. Shows it there on third down. Very proficient and a good pass.
And you know what I've observed over the years in the NFL? The better a route runner you are, the more confidence your guy's going to have in you to go to you in important times because he can trust you being in the right spot, and they connected there and picked up a first down.
The numbers a week ago for Cook. 6 carries, 101 yards, and a score.
Well, this is where it becomes a challenge for the offensive coordinator. He's got a bell cow at tailback right now, number 3 in the league in rushing within shouting distance of the lead. But at the same time, if the passing game is open, he's got to take advantage of that too.
Just 4 yards on the pickup, but that's good enough to extend the drive.
2nd and 1, and people want to run the football. This is where every back in the league is supposed to do exactly what we just saw there. Pick up the first down.
First down, here's the run with Cook. Finding room to the 20. And he's got it all the way down to the 12-yard line. That's good for 21 yards and a first down. That's his longest run of the first quarter. And, Charles, we talked before the game about them needing to establish the run game. They'll be looking for more of that.
And they got to the perimeter. So that tells me that that's part of the game plan of what they want to get done today. So they'll have some complimentary runs where he'll run it to the inside. But it appears that when they want the big yardage, they think they can get to the outside and make it happen.
That's going to go as a loss of 4, and it'll be 2nd down.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral-type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
And on the ground they go with a running back. 12 yards is the pickup there. And all of a sudden here, it's 3rd down.
Look, the first down marker is out there, but sometimes it's hard to find for an offense when they're in a long yardage situation, which usually means throw the football. In this case, they went against the tendency and ran it. And, boy, the reward was there. A big pickup. And guess what? It's now 3rd and very short in order to try and pick up a first down.
Ringo, we're going. Let's go.
They'll run it. Here's Cook. And they'll be driven back here, losing yardage to the 10-yard line. They lost a big chunk, 6 yards there, and it leads to 4th down.
It's a tough one right there. He ran right into the teeth of the blitz as the linebacker was freed up in order to stuff that one for a loss. I think quarterbacks got to see that. Got to find a way to audible into something a little more advantageous.
So in the end, they had the ball for 10 plays, but the drive gets them 3, not 6.
Is it okay if I give credit to both sides on this one?
Absolutely.
All right, let's start defensively. They hung in there. 10-play drive, but they stiffened when they got close to the goal line, made them kick a field goal. And for the offense, 10-play drive. They might be a little disappointed they got a field goal, but they moved the ball down the field with dispatch and came away with points.
The Lions offense, they get ready to head back onto the field. You know, in our research packet this week, prepping for the game, so many articles from the local beat writer about the offensive struggles of this team and what will they do this offseason. Pressure coming from the Vikings, and they get there and bring him down. Daniil Hunter in there to get him. Sack number 14 for him on the year.
Well, someone's closing in on the league lead in sacks. He came into the game in the top 5. Now you add 2 more to his total.
2nd and 14 as they've got work to do here after the sack. Now it's Stafford. And he's got the hook up here. It's Kyle Rudolph. And they'll take him down at the 31-yard line. They'll wind up getting 10 back as that sets him up for 3rd down. And now the Vikings are going to stop it here on defense with a timeout. They'll have 2 remaining as we step aside here in this second quarter. They had the catch on second down, but it didn't help at all, and now they're looking at third down here. Stafford. And this is going to be incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Sam Martin now. On for his second punt. He'd take a repeat of his first. He gets this one away, and boy, it's another boomer. Oh, the spin. 12 yards on the return that time. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Vikings offense making their way back out. Now let's give you a look at the playoff picture coming into the weekend in the NFC. And for them, it's no longer a question of will they make the playoffs. They've clinched the division title. The question, can they hold on to that #1 seed?
And this is where the mental fortitude comes to play, doesn't it? Because now you're not just the coach talking about it. It's team talking about it to each other, supporting each other, carrying each other along, because having that #1 seed means everything in the NFL.
It does. So even though the division title's clinched, shouldn't take the foot off the gas.
No, not at all. Play it all the way through, and I think we've seen that in recent years in the NFL. The teams that play and play to win each and every game, they're the ones to deal with in the playoffs.
To throw is Cousins. And the pressure too much that time as Cousins goes down. Devon Kennard. He's the one that got to him. He takes him down for a loss of 9.
Now, we talk about players blitzing all the time. I often laugh and sometimes call it just straight-ahead pursuit. What a running start right back to the backfield for him.
Yeah, it really didn't give anybody a chance to get up there and stop it.
No, I mean, that's really, really difficult. You're asking a whole lot anyway, but when he gets that kind of a start and comes through clean, oftentimes the advantage definitely goes to the defensive player.
Open man is Taylor. He's got it. And now look at this. Big gain, but a fumble. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. Well, he did what he's known for. He made the catch, then he turned into a runner, took the contact, and coughed it up.
And all I remember as a player, when they catch the ball, when those acrobatic guys catch it, you have to make them pay sometimes. You have to put it on them, big tackle, knock the ball free, anything you can do to slow them down.
And this is one of those bang-bang plays, Charles. Did the knee hit first or did the ball come out first?
This is where you need that 20/20 eyesight, don't you, Brandon? You've got to see which one happened first. If the knee hit the ground, then they will keep possession.
Good starting field position for the Vikings as they have it 1st and 10. Cousins now after the fumble recovery. The left side caught by Diggs. And he'll be brought down just shy of midfield at the 49-yard line. A gain of 6 there on first.
It's a game of matchups, and that's why you take your receivers and move them around a bunch, especially your best guys. And when they work out of the slot, you often hear the coaches talk about how great it is because it gives you a two-way go. You can break out or you can break in. That makes it hard to defend.
He'll find Thielen work in the middle, and he'll get it down here to the 43. A first down for Minnesota. Cousins finding Thielen.
Hey, we talked about Adam Thielen a little bit last year, didn't we? Possession receiver, makes some tough catches, gets it done, and he's a homeboy. Grew up very close to the Twin Cities.
And showing those possession receiver skills right there to pick up the first. They'll run it now out of the gun. And he stopped immediately there. Call it no gain on the play, and it'll be 2nd down.
And the big fella stuffed that one up in a big way. I think doubling him has to be a priority because you can't move up to the next level if you don't take care of him first.
On second down, Cook. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. Pretty good running there, 9 yards. Sets up a 3rd and 1.
Offensive linemen love creating space for their guys carrying the ball. But when that guy also breaks tackles and creates extra yardage, they almost feel like he's one of them, and they really embrace him.
Third down, Dalvin Cook. And brought down, but not before he was able to break the tackle, and the extra effort moves the sticks. 5 yards is the pickup there as that extends this drive.
Just about every coach we talk to says the crowd shouldn't affect us. That shouldn't be an issue. And then the next breath they talk about taking the crowd and taking them out of the game by picking up first downs and keeping them at bay. I think we just saw an example of that there, didn't we?
Important to do, especially early in the game like they have. And he's going to fight his way forward here for a modest gain. Tackle made by Ziggy Ansah. Two minutes to go here in the first half. We'll come back to Ford Field after this. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the NFL.
The best multitasker in the business, the coach.
And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 5 yards on the scramble, and that's enough to pick up the first.
And we have to give credit to him for buying time and extending the play. But, you know, there's some really upset defenders on that one. They thought that they had him. Instead, he was coated in Teflon and got away.
And this is caught at the 8. And they've got it inside the 10 at the 8. It's a 10-yard gain there, and it sets them up now 1st and goal.
When an offense reads blitz, doesn't matter where it's coming from, tight ends know that they become a big part of the passing game because they should be an easy outlet when all those extra bodies are trying to get to the quarterback. A hot route, so to speak.
A good pickup there, 7 yards, and it's going to be 2nd and goal now. That's what they wanted out of that first down play. Run it down there. Now they're knocking on the door.
The only thing that would have been better was getting it in, and now they can do whatever they want because they've got confidence on their side. Line up quickly and go, or savor it a little bit, but I run right back at him.
He's going to get it running right, and he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. Touchdown number 22 on the season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
That'll be taken in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And with the final fortnight of games upon us, teams jockeying for position. Some of these games really starting to take enormous importance as they always do this time of year.
I like how you use fortnight.
Hey, you're impressed, aren't you?
I am impressed. That means 2 weeks if I'm not mistaken, correct?
That does.
But how about exactly what you're talking about? Going down the stretch, how much importance is placed on these games? Look, everyone talks about every game's important. When you get to this time of year, maybe that importance gets quadruple. And that's where we are right now to see who can make their last run, their last push to get into the playoffs.
Set, 180.
Stafford on first down. He'll find a man over the middle. It's Galladay. Still going. They can't stop him. Touchdown, Detroit. A big play there. His 3rd touchdown now on the year. And the Lions strike quickly here for 6 points. The way this one was going, you just got the sense they needed something before half. They've at least got something on the board now. Still trailing, but a good sign.
That takes me back to our preseason tour of NFL camps. You remember we talked with that one coach who said his emphasis this year was scoring in the last 2 minutes of a half, heading into the locker room. This hits it right there. Take that momentum, take that good feeling, and take it to the locker room, regroup, and start over. They got it here.
They did indeed. A lot of football, full half to be played. Latavius Murray getting set to go again. A good job in the passing game, decent job in the running game, but really they've been more effective through the air. We'll see if that shifts at all as this goes on.
Thus far, it feels like they're calling this game in reverse. Normally you run to set up the pass. Here it feels like they're passing, hoping to set up the run and be more effective later on in the game.
Yeah, you can do it both ways. We usually talk about it in the reverse, however.
No doubt about it.
Now Cousins. He's going to air one out. And got his man complete. And they finally get him down, but not before he reaches the 34. A big play there just before halftime. 42 yards.
Bingo. Go ahead.
First down. Here's Cousins. He's got it complete to Diggs, right side. A good pick up there of 20 yards.
I know we just saw a nice throw and catch, but how about the big guys up front buying that time? Yeah, that's exactly what they did. They created time and allowed the space to happen, and it turned into a really nice play.
Liz, 50, black. Let's go.
Now a play fake here on first down. Man open left side is Brown. And he was able to shed the tackle, but the reserves come in for the stop. Now here's a timeout as they're going to get it with 8 seconds remaining here in the first half. 2nd and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. Again, it's Cousins. Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. And this is scooped up by the Lions. And he'll return it to the 24-yard line. And with time running short here, they'll simply take a knee, and that should do it for half number 1. So we hit halftime with our visitors, the Vikings. We now proceed to the start of the second half. The Vikings have to like their position. They've got the lead. They get this football as well as we are back and underway for the second half. On the return now, it's Josh Huff. Out come the Vikings. They'll have it first on offense as we begin the third. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had
rush coming, and he's taken down. The former first-round pick from Boise State, Shea McClellan. In from his linebacker spot, he's able to drop him for a loss of about 10.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
So now 20 yards to go on second down after the sack. Work to be done. From the gun, here's Cousins. Flushed out right. And that one goes incomplete. He's maybe lucky it wasn't a fumble as he got hit as he threw it. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on first down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
The Vikings on third down. They've been okay, 2 for 3 thus far. This will be 3rd and a mile. Working out of the gun, Cousins. He's going to fire one deep over the middle. The former Pro Bowler Glover Quinn there making the play. So they took a shot there on third down, couldn't get it. Now it's 4th. A pretty good coverage there, and both of these defenses, they've had good coverage throughout this one.
No doubt about it, and in today's NFL, where we're used to a bit more scoring, this feels almost like a well-pitched game in baseball on both sides, where the tension continues to build. Who's going to make the big play?
A good return there, call it 13 yards. And the Lions will take over. Stafford and the Lions now have it 1st and 10 on their side of midfield at the 47. Out of the gun, Stafford. It's complete to Golden Tate. And he'll be taken down at the 44-yard line. Give him 9 there on the first down completion. That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1. Now flags will come in. I think this one's going to be on the defense for jumping.
Encroachment, defense.
And he got a little aggressive too early.
And he did, wanting that quick takeoff as the ball was snapped. But I think sometimes those big guys on offense, they're pretty cagey too, right? They make those little sudden moves or those little subtle moves that get you to jump.
On 1st and 10, Stafford. And he just gets rid of it, throws it away. A wise move there, looked like nobody open, now 2nd down.
What's the old adage? Be quick, but don't hurry. Well, that went right out the window there. He was hurried, harassed. That ball had to be gotten rid of, otherwise he was going to get sacked.
They'll run it now out of the gun. Oh, and now he bowls him over. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 2nd down, a little more productive than first. 7 yards on the gain. It gets him to 3rd and 3 now. From the gun, here's Stafford. It's caught. Jones. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
That was an excellent read right there. Saw cover 1. That means it's just a single high safety. So you know if you throw the ball to the outside part of the field, help is going to be a little bit late getting there. And he puts one out there for a big-time completion.
Now a 1st down throw. Stafford. And that'll be incomplete. The all-pro corner Xavier Rhodes there to knock that one away.
And we just saw another example. These cornerbacks have played tight coverage all game long. Might start wanting to think about a few double, triple move routes to try and shake their guys free.
You're right, they have had no room to breathe. On 2nd and 10, Stafford. His pass caught at the 4. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. The catch good for 6 yards, but now it's 3rd and goal.
That was a nicely run slant route, and what the receiver's trying to do is make the defender think he's going upfield for a deeper route and then breaks it off, usually after about 3 to 4 steps, and cuts towards the middle of the field. And now what he's trying to do is use his body to keep the defender away from the football and give the quarterback a really nice target.
It's a 5-receiver set, 3 to the left, 2 to the right. Back to throw, Stafford. And incomplete. The contact made the ball roam free and brings up 4th down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. So they come away from this opening drive in the 3rd quarter with only 3, but it does draw them even.
Yeah, and that has to be job 1, doesn't it? A touchdown definitely would have been nice. We know that. But here, you get back on even terms, and now you've got most of the 2nd half to try and get yourself into a position to win.
And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now out comes Minnesota. And a tight game after punting last time. See if they can get something going on this drive.
As they head to the field now, with a game this close, you've got to feel there's a sense of urgency for them going on offense right now. But they have to do it without letting panic creep in and affect their play.
Let's go.
A first down throw for Cousins. And Diggs has it. And he'll be brought down right at the 30 here. A good pickup there. 8 yards on the first down completion.
I always laugh when people say, what's the toughest route to defend? And I'm like, any of them, especially if it's a good receiver. That makes things very difficult. But when you're running a drag route, something short, shallow, going through defenders, using guys almost as screens in order to get open, that makes things tough for guys trying to get to the football.
On the ground, it's Cook. Oh, he faked it with a juke. Now he's got some room. The 30, the 20. Touchdown, Vikings. A great play there with touchdown number 23 here on the year. And the Vikings are going to take the lead. And that run massively increased his production in this game, and now he's over 100 yards.
And break out your calculator, partner, because his yards per carry went up significantly, right? Big-time jaunt all the way to the end zone.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And that makes it a 17-10 score. Carlson now to kick this one away. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. Here comes Matthew Stafford now to lead his offense back out there. How do you break down his game so far? Just the one touchdown pass, but sometimes the touchdown pass stat category, that doesn't tell the whole story.
It really doesn't. Not until you balance it with the error side. You know, and in this case, he hasn't thrown any interceptions. So a lot of people would call this almost a pedestrian game, kind of a bus driver game. But that's just really wrong. Being a bus driver is a good thing if you're running a football team, because that means you're in control and you're taking your team to the right places.
Yeah, he's been pretty solid. Just a yard on the first down carry, so it's 2nd and 9.
Well, they had that one sniffed out. Excellent run blitz. Stopped that one for a short gain.
What makes a good run blitz a good run blitz?
The ability to stay on task, to follow up your assignment, go to the gap you're supposed to cover, and not be deterred by anything else.
They try to throw on 2nd down, but this one is incomplete. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been on the spot just about every time.
And they've held them in check on the scoreboard. He's been quiet today in the passing game, just his 2nd catch.
Yeah, and people have to come up with schemes to limit him, and what a lot of teams do, they'll double him, you know, use a linebacker underneath, a safety over the top. Sometimes they'll just take a corner, maybe their 3rd corner if he's a bigger guy, and put him on a man-to-man to try and limit his touches. Just keep mixing it up, give him different angles, different looks, like a good boxer does.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
And he's able to plow forward up to about the 29, just shy of the 30. Give him 9 on the carry that time, and they're set up with a 2nd and 1. And 3rd quarter here, you've got the lead. This is where that strong run game can really benefit you. Stayed in bounds there, kept the clock going.
I like all the points you just made there. And if you throw the football and it's incomplete, now you've stopped the clock and you've helped out the guys on the other side of the ball. So keep it in the hands of those runners. Keep moving it. Keep grinding the clock.
There he goes, left side. A big play there for Minnesota. 67 yards.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. They'll run with Cook, and he will take this one into the end zone for a Viking touchdown. A great effort there with another touchdown, number 24 on the year. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. He keeps carrying the ball into the end zone, and in this one, he's sort of carrying the team on his back.
He's the reason that they lead right now. No question about it. And you talk about on his back, he's not minding the extra weight at all, is he? Carrying that just as lightly as he does the football. Yeah, what a great performance so far.
Those 3 touchdowns, it's got him in the lead. That's fielded in the end zone. And no run back here. This will be a touchback, and it comes out to the 25-yard line. And Detroit getting set to go now. And down on the scoreboard, certainly needing to avoid what happened on the last drive, punting the football.
Sense of urgency has to take over for them here. They know the score. They know the situation. And by the way, the punter no longer exists for their offense. That's how they have to treat this drive.
They need points.
Big time.
Now Stafford. The Vikings after him, and they get there for the sack. Daniil Hunter in there to get him, and that is sack number 15 for him on the year.
Now, that was just absolute perfect man coverage. Nowhere for them to go with the football. Led to a sack, and that's really difficult to do in today's NFL with all these gazelles running around that you're trying to cover in the secondary.
And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield. 1 quarter remains here in Week 16. We'll return with more after this. You're watching. Back now at Ford Field. It's the Lions trailing, but with possession of the football as we get set to bring you the 4th quarter. 3rd and long. It's Stafford. And that is incomplete.
Everything about that play tells you about today's NFL offenses and what they're asking out of running backs. You can't just be a guy who can run the football. You have to be able to catch it as well, and he didn't get that done on that play.
And they're indeed going to go for it here on 4th down. So trailing here in the last quarter. Let's see how this plays out. Got to try it here. He's back to throw. And that is incomplete. The Lions turned away on 4th down. And boy, possession here turns over with the football already being in the red zone. So they really needed points here in a 2-score game. Could not come away with anything there on 4th.
And while we know they're a little bit discouraged here, they can't check out of this game.
Now the hit comes, and Cousins lost the football. So they escape, so to speak, maintaining the football. Defensively, though, opportunity miss.
It definitely was, because that's all defenses talk about. Getting the football and either advancing it the other way or just getting possession and turning it over to their offense. That can be a little bit deflating. You're exactly right. A lost opportunity.
Well, they get 16 out of that one, but they'll still need to convert on 3rd. Still throwing the football here, even with the big lead.
Yeah, I know you and I came up in a different era, and we think about sportsmanship and all that. Other people think about fantasy points and getting their numbers. That's all they care about right now.
Cousins from the gun on 3rd. And he's able to find Diggs. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. He's been the go-to guy. They needed a big play there on 3rd down. Went his way. It worked out.
Doesn't matter whether they've scouted it or that they think he's going to get the ball. He has a knack for finding his way open and completing the connection.
A good chance now to put this game on ice. This is 1st and goal.
Hey, flipper, flipper.
They'll try and run for it on 1st and goal. And he'll get in. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great play there. His 25th touchdown. Tying Emmitt Smith for the 5th most in one season. And the Vikings find a way to stretch their lead. And that rushing touchdown, his 4th, puts him just one shy of the NFL record in a single game.
And we all know he would love to get to that record and even beyond it, but he doesn't need to in order to impress in this one, does he? What a performance. What an absolute great game that he's had here in this one.
Extra point by Carlson, up and good. And the decision to just kick the extra point winds up successful. This fielded a few yards into the end zone. And he'll wind up about 4 yards shy of where he would have been if he had taken a knee, as they'll start at the 21-yard line. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. And last time out, went for it on 4th down, turned it over, gave them great field position, turned into 6 points, so they've got to recover here, Charles.
It's amazing what one decision can do in the chain of events, right? The decision to go for it on 4th down.
Caused all of that.
It caused every bit of it, but it showed confidence. Hey, I've got confidence in you guys. Go pick it up for them. Didn't happen. Also showed confidence in the defense. They didn't pick up their end of the bargain, so now they've got to come back out and start over and rebuild that confidence.
6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4. Now contact up front as penalty markers come in. Who is this against?
Neutral zone infraction, defense.
Jumpy on the right side of the line.
Sometimes when you're on the end, a little bit farther away from the ball, any type of movement will get you to jump, and that's exactly what happened there.
So the yellow flag came out, and that leads to a new set of downs for this offense. 1st and 10. To throw is Stafford. He couldn't quite hold it. Got hit. Ball pops out. Incomplete. So after the incompletion on 1st, now 2nd and 10. To throw again. Stafford, incomplete. Right side, the tight end Rudolph. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. Give him 11 yards that time and a new set of downs.
I know I spend a lot of time talking about how tight ends in a lot of cases now are pumped up wide receivers, but they're still big people. He used that frame right there to absorb a really big hit on him and held on to the ball.
On 1st down, it's Stafford. Out to the flat for Reddick. And he'll go down right around the 47 this time. A gain of 4 on the play, and that'll make it a 2nd down. You got the big lead defensively. Willing to give him that underneath stuff, right?
And this is why you work on your tackling. Tackle them after the catch, inbounds, keep the clock running. Just go ahead and bleed the game out that way.
And he's just going to get rid of this thing. To no one here. He throws it away, and now it's 3rd.
I'm not even sure I know who this guy is out there playing right now. This is very unlike him, one of the most accurate guys in the league. Totally off his game right now.
I don't know. I was going to ask you what you pin it on, but defensively, they've been pretty solid.
Well, sometimes, you know, those defenders, they get into the receivers pretty well, and if they chip away at their timing, it's going to affect what you're doing throwing the ball as well.
It'll be a 3-yard gain, and it'll be 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. You like the call?
I do. I think it's a high percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the 1st down. In this case, it didn't happen.
They're already slim hopes are going to ride on this one. They'll go on 4th down. As expected, they're going for it to keep the drive alive. And Tate's got it. And he will have 1st down yardage as he's brought down at the 41. No reason not to try it there, and they do indeed convert on 4th. Stafford on 1st down. He hits Reddick underneath. And this one's going to go the wrong way, losing yardage back at the 42. It'll be a loss of 1, and it'll be 2nd and 11. That pass play wound up for negative yardage, so here's 2nd and 11. Time for a break. Back to finish it off on EA Sports after this. So the Lions in possession of the football as we welcome you back. They're looking at 2nd down now as they search for a consolation score. Stafford looks to throw again. And seeing nowhere to throw, he chucks this one away from harm. Incomplete. Now it's third down.
After that incompletion, I almost get the sense that he's going to look up at the booth and kind of look at us and say, hey, you guys got any suggestions? It's been that kind of game, hasn't it? They've had him on the run throughout.
Yeah, and I get that you're trying to make a play here losing fourth quarter, but to throw when you're not set with pressure coming could have been an interception.
Very much so, and it's been that kind of game for him. They've had him on the run, had him off balance. He's got to find a way to make some big-time throws down the stretch.
Now Stafford. Oh, he dropped it. And that's pretty indicative of the way this one's gone. Another wayward pass. You know, things started out poorly in this game, and to be frank, they just really haven't gotten much better.
And all that does is embolden a secondary. They feel good about what's going on, and they just play better and better.
Back to the air. Stafford on second down. And the hit jarred it loose. It's incomplete.
The beauty of being able to play a zone defense when you can sit back and see the ball coming out of the quarterback's hands, guess what? Creates a lot of confusion, kind of a muddle in the middle of the field where you go make a play on the football.
Throwing on third down, Stafford. Open is Tate. Touchdown, Lions. Golden Tate, his fourth touchdown on the year. And the Lions are able to cut into this lead.
I'm not sure win-win is the proper term here, but it certainly felt like it. They got the touchdown they needed. But if I'm on the defensive side of the ball, okay, you got the touchdown, but it sure took you a long time.
Yeah, because offensively, though, you're probably hoping for a 1 to 5 play drive. That one ate up a little more time than they were hoping.
You're exactly right, and if you have that 1 to 5 play drive, you actually build up momentum and even more hope. When they had to slog their way downfield, they got the touchdown, but it's almost like, yeah, you know,
doesn't feel right.
Exactly.
And now out comes Minnesota. And they had to wait a long time to get the football back. Probably not what you were hoping for when you got an offense that's humming.
Agreed. What you were looking for is the defense get the ball back pretty quickly, right? Hoping for a 3 and out. So that didn't happen. You can't yell at your D for that. They've got to take care of their own business and reestablish themselves now that they're back on the field.
And now the Lions going to stop us momentarily as they call a timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down.
Lucky 48.
They run again on first down. Cook. Nifty move. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. The Lions now going to use the second of their timeouts as it comes with 1:15 left to go in the second half.
Let's go.
Handoff comes to Cook. And the Lions quickly now going to use the last of their timeouts as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. So the defense had a chance to catch their breath, and now they're back out and ready. They pitch it out to Cook. And he'll get into the end zone. Touchdown, Minnesota. A great effort there. His 26th touchdown, drawing even with Marshall Faulk for the 4th most in a single season. And the Vikings are going to add on to their lead. And he just tied the NFL record on that 5th rushing touchdown. He's the 6th man ever to do that in a single game.
And, partner, did you just say that he tied an NFL record there?
Yes, sir.
I mean, we're talking 5 touchdowns on the ground against an NFL-caliber defense.
Is that good?
I'd say that's fantastic. What a game for him.
It really is something. We are watching quite the effort. The Lions offense heading out as we give you a look at the playoff race coming into the weekend in the NFC. They're down big here late. I don't know. You just one last drive here for pride?
Some people like to do that. I remember playing for a guy once. We were down huge, and someone said, "Coach, what do you want to call?" He just waved a hand like, "Who cares? Let's get out of here and do something some other time." But some teams like to do something at the end to feel a little bit better as they continue to move forward.
Yeah, probably just want to put this one behind them. 5 yards on the pickup. A boost here to start the drive. After the penalty, it's 1st and 5. A shotgun snap for Stafford. To the right and complete to Galladay. And they'll get it up just short of the 45 at the 44. A good gain of 14 there, and it moves the chains. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. To throw on 2nd down is Stafford. Over the middle, and it's incomplete. Kenny Galladay is intended receiver. And it's 3rd down.
I know coaches tell us all the time that having a powerful arm isn't the #1 thing they look for in a quarterback. But when you're trying to throw inside routes and you need to put some heat on it, it helps to have the big gun. In this case, just a little bit too much.
To throw on 3rd down, Stafford. And he's got Kyle Rudolph. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another 1st down. That is incomplete.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Here we go. Here we go. Here we go. Man left. 4 down. Check. Set. 180.
To the air again, Stafford. He's going to flip one out here to his running back. They showed off a nice juke of the defender before the next wave could bring him down. It's a gain of 7, and that'll make it 3rd down. Again, it's Stafford. It's brought in left side by Tate. Catch number 40 for him on the year. It's a 1st down. And he'll indeed get him to the line and spike it here to stop the clock. And that one hits the ground incomplete. So now just 4 ticks left in this one. One last throw here for Stafford. And that will be incomplete as time has run out on this football game. Charles, we saw a lot of points go up in this one. Certainly defensively, stuff that they can look at on film, don't you think?
No doubt about it. And they've got to go back and check where the errors are, how they're going to fix them, and continue to get better at what they do. But they also need a little adjustment with their confidence. To give up that many points, even if you win a game, that can hurt you.
So for Minnesota, it's another win for them, and you wonder if they want a redo on that one loss as they sit now at 14-1. And they'll head back home next week to take on the Chicago Bears. Meanwhile, for the Lions, the slide continues as they drop now to 3-12. And they'll try to get back to their winning ways next week as they head to Lambeau